Welcome back, my beloveds, to Radically Sparkling. If you're new here, I'm Naish Maya, and today we're diving deep into a transformative topic that's close to my heart. We're talking about self-sabotage, self-worth, and how to break free from the cycles holding you back. Whether you're here to elevate your mindset, manifest your dreams, or simply gain a new perspective, this is the space for you. So, let's get into it, because your desired reality is waiting for you to claim it. Self-sabotage is a form of self-destruction that many people don't fully grasp. It operates on a frequency that disrupts and corrupts the energy you're trying to manifest, your desired reality. As you work toward creating the life you want, you'll inevitably face moments where it feels like you're stuck in the same cycles, repeating behaviors that hold you back. Even when you know better, it can feel like these actions are beyond your control. But what you may not realize is that self-sabotage is a frequency that actively works against your goals, dismantling the reality you're trying to build. To overcome this, you must learn to outsmart the frequency of self-sabotage. Until you do, your efforts may feel futile. The key is to break free from this cycle so you can step into the reality you truly desire. After all, spirituality without the ability to shape your reality is meaningless. Once again, welcome back to Radically Sparkling, my beloveds. If you're new here, I'm Naish Maya, and today we're diving deep into a powerful topic: self-sabotage no more, how to rewire your mind for success. Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss any of our life-changing conversations. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. It's all about unlocking your highest potential. First, it's crucial to understand that your desired reality operates on a new frequency. To step into it, you must replace your current frequency, the one tied to your old reality. But here's the catch. Your current or old reality is also a frequency, and it's not just a passive state, it's an entity, an energetic force that resists change. To fully grasp this, we need to explore an esoteric concept known as egregores. Egregores originate from the Greek word meaning watchers, and they were referenced in the Book of Enoch, one of the ancient texts outside the traditional Bible. Enoch, also known as Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, or Prophet Idris in the Quran, speaks of these entities. An egregore is essentially an organism without a physical body, a thought form created from mental and emotional energy. When you consistently repeat certain thoughts or emotions, they solidify into a form that gains its own existence. Think of it like building a mountain, stone by stone, with each thought adding to its structure. Over time, these thought forms become powerful entities that influence your reality. Your old reality is not just a set of circumstances. It's an entity built from the thought forms you've created. This entity exists to maintain itself, to keep you in the same frequency you're trying to escape. It's like a spiritual doppelganger, a version of you that exists on the mental, physical, and spiritual planes. This is why it often feels like every step forward is met with a step back. The entity of your old reality is working to pull you back into its frequency, ensuring its survival. For example, if you constantly think, "Why does this always happen to me?" or "I'm so unlucky," you're creating thought forms that solidify into an entity. This entity's sole purpose is to perpetuate those thoughts, ensuring your reality reflects them. It's not personal. It's simply the mechanics of the universe. The entity doesn't hate you. It just wants to exist. And it does so by maintaining the conditions it was created from. This is where self-sabotage comes into play. Your old frequency, represented by this entity, will do whatever it takes to keep you in its grip. It will play psychological games, trigger self-destructive behaviors, and create obstacles to prevent you from shifting into your desired reality. Self-sabotage is the tool it uses to pull you back into the familiar, even when you're striving for change. So, how do you overcome this? There are 3 key reasons behind self-sabotage, and understanding them is the first step to breaking free. By addressing these root causes, you can dismantle the entity of your old reality and step into the frequency of your desired life. Let's explore these reasons and the strategies to defeat them so you can finally stop self-sabotaging and start manifesting the reality you truly want. The first thing you need to understand is this: your old frequency wants to stay. Why? Because you created it. You brought it into existence. Now it's like a clingy partner refusing to let go. It's saying, no, 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 where do you think you're going? We're staying together. You created me, and I'm not going anywhere. Your old frequency is built on every experience, condition, event, and relationship from your past. Everything you no longer align with. It was there for your lowest lows and your highest highs. Now, as you try to move on, it's like breaking up with someone who won't accept it. It's holding on tight, refusing to let you go. And here's the sneaky part. It starts playing psychological games with you. This is a major reason people self-sabotage without even realizing it. You can watch all the videos, take all the notes, and do all the practices. But if you don't understand how this old frequency operates, adversity will pull you right back to where you started. It's a game of offense and defense. Your old frequency is like a chess player, always staying one step ahead, making you feel like you're constantly behind. But here's the key. It's not invincible. I'll show you how to outsmart it. Your old frequency is a living entity, a spiritual doppelganger of you. It experiences emotions just like you do, but its emotions are tied to its existence. When you start meditating, stop reacting to triggers and shift your mindset, it feels threatened. It senses its existence is in jeopardy. Hold on, it says. What's happening? Why are you changing? It begins to dissolve, and that terrifies it. Here's where it gets manipulative. It takes its fear, the fear of disappearing, and projects it onto you. As you move forward, it makes you feel afraid of success. It associates fear with progress, so you unconsciously start avoiding the very things that could improve your life. You begin to feel uncomfortable or scared when you think about taking steps toward your goals. Why? Because your old frequency is feeding you. It's fear. Let me break this down further. When you internalize that fear, something dangerous happens. The universe operates on a principle I call the magic M, magnification. Once you internalize an emotion like fear, the universe magnifies it. It reflects that fear back to you through people, circumstances, and events. This is why things seem to go wrong just as you're starting to do better. Without realizing it, you've absorbed the fear your old frequency projected onto you, and the universe amplifies it. So as you walk through life, things start falling apart, and you can't figure out why. It's because you've tapped into fear, and fear acts like a beacon, attracting more of what you don't want. The key is to recognize this pattern, detach from the fear, and reclaim your power. Only then can you break free from the grip of your old frequency and step into the reality you truly desire. Let me not move forward because I don't want to feel scared. Fear is a powerful, evolutionary emotion. It helped us survive. If you saw a saber-toothed tiger and didn't feel fear, you'd be lunch, dinner, and the Last Supper. No Judas needed. But while fear once kept us alive, it now has the power to destroy your chances of success. When you internalize fear, the universe magnifies it, and suddenly, everything falls apart. So, how do you defeat the game your old frequency is playing? Relax, I'll show you. But this is just one of 3 reasons. Make sure to drop your notes in the comments as usual. Someone actually requested this video and I thought, why not? Now let's break it down. Step 1. Awareness. You need to realize that the fear you're feeling isn't yours. It belongs to your old frequency. Your old frequency is anything in your mind that contradicts your desired reality. Sometimes it might even sound logical or rational, but it's still holding you back. Awareness is the first step because without it, there's no potential for transformation. You can't change what you don't recognize. For example, let's say you're trying to build healthy relationships, but part of you wants to run away from someone who's genuinely good for you. Instead of thinking, I'm afraid, realize that it's not you, it's your old frequency projecting fear onto you. Your old frequency is comfortable with toxicity, so it makes you associate that good person with fear, keeping you stuck in the same cycle. This applies to money too. Maybe you're scared to save or invest because your old frequency associates financial growth with fear. The key is to isolate the old frequency from the new one. Recognize that the fear you feel isn't yours. It's the old frequency trying to keep you in place. Once you separate yourself from it, you can see the game it's playing. You're trying to make me afraid of moving forward, so I stay here. This awareness shifts the entire paradigm. The old frequency wants to trap you in its whirlwind, but now that you see clearly, it can't control you the same way. When you feel that fear, you need to move forward, but not with fear. Use the polarity of fear, which is courage. Fear and courage are the same energy. The only difference is their vibration. To shift from fear to courage, you need to change your focus. Concentrate on the desired reality you're moving toward, not the fear of what might happen if you don't. This is how you transmute fear into courage. Think of it like this. If you're stuck in a mental ninjutsu, yes, like in Naruto, you're trapped in an illusion, overthinking and unable to move forward. To break free, focus on the courageous aspects of your life, even if they seem small. Courage exists within you. You just need to tap into it. This is step 1 out of 3. Now, on to the second reason for self-sabotage. And this one's a tough truth. What or who would you lose if you changed? Sometimes growth means leaving behind people, habits, or even identities that no longer serve you. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Who or what are you holding on to that's keeping you from stepping into your desired reality? You might be wondering how this ties into self-sabotage. The answer lies in something deeply rooted in our evolutionary psychology. Humans evolved in groups. Being part of a group meant survival, while exile often meant death. This is why exclusion feels so punishing. It triggers a primal fear of being left behind. Groups thrive on conformity. Everyone must align to maintain cohesion. In return for conforming, you gain approval, which your brain interprets as love. This approval-seeking behavior is hardwired into the oldest part of your brain, the basal ganglia, also known as the reptilian brain. Here's the technical part. To go somewhere you've never been, you must become someone you've never been. This new version of you operates on a completely different frequency, which means it will attract a different reality. But here's the catch. This shift often requires leaving behind people, habits, or environments that no longer align with your new frequency. This is where self-sabotage creeps in. Approval is based on conformity, but change is the opposite of conformity. When you decide to change, you disrupt the societal hive mind, an entity that thrives on keeping everyone in line. This hive mind seeks energetic equilibrium, a state where everyone remains at the same level for the sake of balance and efficiency. The moment you step out of line, the hive mind tries to hammer you back into place. It's not personal, it's just how the system works. On a social level, your friends, family, and peers may unconsciously resist your growth because it challenges the status quo. They may say things like, "You've changed," or "You're switching up." This isn't necessarily them speaking, it's the hive mind working through them. It wants to keep you in line, not out of malice, but for its own convenience. This resistance creates a conflict within you. On one hand, you want to grow and achieve your desired reality. On the other, your evolutionary brain associates change with danger. It whispers, "If you change, you'll lose the group. If you lose the group, you'll die." This fear of abandonment and rejection can lead to self-sabotage. You unconsciously hold yourself back to avoid the pain of losing approval or love. But here's the question. Is it truly love if it's conditional on you staying the same? If the people around you only accept you when you conform, is that love or control? Babies aren't born with fear, they're born with love. Yet as we grow, we're taught to seek approval, often at the cost of our own growth. This need for approval becomes a chain, holding us back from stepping into our desired reality. To break free, you need to ask yourself, who or what would I lose if I changed? Would your friends look at you differently? Would your family treat you differently? Would you have to let go of certain habits or environments? These are hard questions, but they're necessary. Growth often requires leaving behind what no longer serves you, even if it's uncomfortable. This applies to all areas of life. For example, if you want to manifest more money, you might fear being seen as a walking bank account by your family. If you want a healthy relationship, you might worry about being judged by those in toxic relationships. These fears are often projections of the hive mind trying to keep you in line. The key is to recognize that these fears aren't yours. They belong to the old frequency and the societal hive mind. Once you separate yourself from them, you can begin to move forward with courage. This is step 2 out of 3 in overcoming self-sabotage. Now, let's talk about the third reason, lack of self-worth. Metaphysically, your self-worth is the ceiling of what you can manifest in reality. No matter how many affirmations you repeat, how many vision boards you create, or how much you visualize, if your self-worth is low, you'll struggle to achieve your goals. Self-worth is closely tied to self-esteem, which is built on self-trust. Self-trust is your ability to follow through on the things you know you should do and avoid the things you know you shouldn't. It's a currency that, over time, builds your confidence. Confidence, in turn, strengthens the frequency you emit to the universe. If your self-worth is low, it creates a ceiling that limits your potential. You might want success, prosperity, or love, but if you don't believe you deserve it, you'll unconsciously sabotage your efforts. This is why it's crucial to work on building your self-trust, self-esteem, and ultimately your self-worth. The more confident you are, the more you'll believe you deserve. But if you lack confidence, it's because your self-esteem is low. And if your self-esteem is low, it's rooted in a lack of self-trust. Self-trust is built on doing the things you know you should do and avoiding the things you know you shouldn't. Whether it's cleaning your closet, going to the gym, eating healthier, cutting off toxic relationships, or simply following through on your commitments, these actions build self-trust. On the flip side, when you do things you know you shouldn't, you erode that trust. When you lack self-trust, your self-esteem suffers. Low self-esteem leads to low confidence, and low confidence diminishes your self-worth. Your self-worth acts as the ceiling for what you can manifest in reality. If your desired reality is up here but your self-worth is down here, you'll constantly hit a wall. No matter how much you visualize, meditate, or repeat affirmations, you won't break through that ceiling because your self-worth is limiting you. The issue isn't that you're not doing the right spiritual practices, it's that you haven't mastered yourself. Self-mastery is the foundation for mastering reality. You can't claim to be one with reality or expect to shape it if you can't even trust yourself to do the basic things you know you should. If you can't trust yourself, how can the universe trust you? How can reality align with your desires if you're not aligned with your own values and commitments? This lack of self-trust creates a dangerous cycle. You know what you should do, but you don't do it. You know what you shouldn't do, but you do it anyway. This erodes your self-trust, which lowers your self-esteem, which weakens your confidence, and ultimately diminishes your self-worth. With low self-worth, your ability to manifest is capped. The universe, being a reflection of you, will only bring you experiences that match your internal belief about what you deserve. This is where self-sabotage comes in. If deep down you don't believe you deserve more, the universe will align with that belief. It will lower your experiences to match your self-worth. You might find yourself stuck in patterns that keep you from reaching your goals, not because of external circumstances, but because your internal foundation, your self-trust, self-esteem and self-worth, is shaky. To break this cycle, you need to start small. Do the things you know you should do, even if they seem insignificant. Avoid the things you know you shouldn't do, even if it's uncomfortable. Each time you follow through, you build self-trust. Over time, this builds self-esteem, confidence, and ultimately self-worth. As your self-worth grows, so does your ability to manifest the reality you truly desire. The only way to increase your self-worth is to first come to a true recognition of who you are. Often, when we feel a lack of self-worth, it's because we're misidentified. We're operating from the ego, not our true essence, which is the materialization of God. When you align with this higher identity, beyond the illusions of the third-dimensional world, time, space, and polarity, you begin to see yourself as infinite. You realize you're not just a human being. You're a divine being having a human experience. When you operate from this true self, you tap into your infinite nature. From this place, there's nothing you feel you don't deserve. But to reach this state, you need to spend less time focused on the external world and more time turning inward. This means pulling away from distractions and immersing yourself in the part of you that is closest to God. As Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Before you can truly know God or your divine self, you must first be still. Make time to do nothing, to simply exist in stillness. From this place of alignment, the next step is discipline. Yes, discipline, one of the most hated words in the manifestation community. But here's the truth. You can't discipline reality if you can't discipline yourself. Ironically, the more you cultivate self-discipline, the easier it becomes to shape your reality. Discipline builds confidence, and confidence is the cornerstone of manifestation. There are people who know nothing about manifestation, yet effortlessly create their desired reality simply because they're confident. And their confidence comes from doing what they know they should do and avoiding what they know they shouldn't. Whether it's replying to an email, following up with a client, or taking care of your health, these small acts of discipline build self-trust, self-esteem, and ultimately, self-worth. Only you know what areas of your life need this focus, whether it's love, work, finances, or something else entirely. The key is to take consistent action in alignment with your goals. Now, let's tie this back to overcoming self-sabotage. There are three main aspects to address. 1. Your old frequency. It will project fear onto you as you move forward, making you associate success with fear. To overcome this, you must transmute that fear into courage and keep moving forward. 2. What or who you might lose. As you grow, you may outgrow certain people or situations. You must become unapologetically okay with this. True love supports your growth. If someone truly loves you, they'll celebrate your success, not hold you back. 3. Lack of self-worth. This is the ceiling of what you can manifest. By aligning with your divine self, practicing stillness, and cultivating discipline, you raise this ceiling and step into your infinite potential. So to wrap it up, be still, align with your true self, cultivate discipline, and be okay with losing what no longer serves you. This is how you break free from self-sabotage and step into the reality you truly deserve. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today, my beloveds. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and comment below with your thoughts or questions. Let's keep this conversation going. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Remember, you are infinite and your potential is limitless. Until next time, stay radically sparkling, peace and love.